Yo, shalom, shalom. Grace and peace be into the 12 tribes of Israel. This evening, we are going into Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13. I pray everybody's got their, had a good day. Pray everybody get their Bibles out, get their notes ready. If you are not taking notes, you are not trying to learn. We got to understand the Wisdom of Solomon is a deep book. Solomon is just, he's like the Paul, he's like not the Paul, he's like Paul of the Old Testament. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't realize he's saying things that just gonna go way over your head, especially if you haven't read. So it's gonna go way over your head if you haven't read it. Hey, we might need to put that on a shirt, make that a slogan. Anybody, I need, hey, my shirt team, you know what I'm saying? My slogan team, write that down, don't forget about it. If I ain't got a slogan team, we got one now. Hey, write that down. If you don't got it, what I say, yeah, hey, if you have not read, it's gonna go over your head. That's how that works. But anyways, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 13. Let me go ahead and get a shout out to who's in the lesson this afternoon. Yalasia, I see you in the building. Grace and peace be with you. Shalom, shalom. As she said, make sure y'all like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure y'all spreading the gospel. We trying to make sure our people repent and come back to our laws. Make sure our people come back to our culture, our heritage, and understand who we are and what we're supposed to do as a nation. Sarah, how you doing? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Grace and peace be with you. Good afternoon. Hopefully you're doing well. Same thing. My firstborn, Katrina, how you doing? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Grace and peace be with you. All right. Like I said, we are going into Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13. Let's go ahead and get to Mark, chapter 14, verse 3, and we will get this thing started. Mark, chapter 14, verse 3. All right. And being in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, as he sat at meat, there came to him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and she brake the box and poured it on his head. And there were some that had indignation within themselves and said, why was this waste of the ointment made? For it might have been sold for more than 300 pence and had been given to the poor. And they murmured against her. And Jesus said, let her alone. Why trouble ye her? She hath wrought a good work on me. For ye are the poor with you always, and whensoever ye will, ye may do them good. But me ye have not always. She hath done what she could. She is come aforehand to anoint my body to the burying. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached throughout the whole world, this also that she have done shall be spoken of for a memorial of her. So whenever we bring out this gospel, the true gospel of Jesus Christ, the message given to the 12 tribes of Israel, scattered all over the globe, the words that are given to the people of the Most High, the people of the Most High, we understand, are the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Those descendants were given specific instructions to follow. We have not followed them, so the curses of Deuteronomy 28 are upon us. And since we have not repented yet, they have not relented yet. Those curses, those punishments, that ass whooping God has given us has not ended. It has not stopped. And it's not going to stop until we return it to our Father. So again, we must understand whenever we preach this gospel, the one is telling us to keep these laws, not just the ones you like, but every single commandment in the Bible. Whenever we receive this gospel, we put out this message and giving it to those people, the people we understand are black, the slave descendants, those people we call Negro. Whenever we give this message to those people, we're always going to remember the woman that put the ointment on the body of our Messiah, the black Messiah, Jesus, the Christ. All right, let's get ready to dive on into it. Let's go ahead and get to, hold on, let me show. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and get to where we're going to go to. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13. But before we get there, let's see where Solomon got that wisdom from. Let's go to 2 Chronicles, chapter 1, verse 5. 2 Chronicles 1 and 5. By the way, all my brothers and sisters in on the TikTok, if you are in there, make sure you are subscribing to the TikTok. And if you subscribe to the TikTok, also click the link to the YouTube page and subscribe to that. So that way you can continue to grow in your spiritual walk. And if you're not trying to grow in your spiritual walk, start doing it right now. Subscribe, join the page, click on in and start to follow, because your life depends on it. Your afterlife depends on it. And if you don't do what your afterlife depends on, remember, your eternity is going to regret it. My fault, you will regret it for eternity. And that's just not smart. I just honestly, it just don't make no sense. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Just understand that. Be afraid of him that can kill the body and destroy the soul in hell. All right. So, like I said, let's get to 2 Chronicles chapter 1, verse. Matter of fact, I'll start at verse 7. 2 Chronicles 1 and 7. By the way, I see Law just joined. Grace and peace be with you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. All right. 2 Chronicles chapter 1, verse. All right, sorry about that technical difficulty. All right, 2 Chronicles chapter 1, verse 7. 2 Chronicles chapter 1, verse 7. In that night did God appear unto Solomon and said unto him, Ask what I shall give thee. So the Lord asked Solomon, What do you want? He said, Ask what you want, and I'm going to go ahead and get it for you. All right, let me jump down to verse 10. Give me now wisdom and knowledge, that I may go out and come in before this people. For who can judge this thy people that is so great? So he said, give me wisdom, give me direction, give me discretion, give me understanding, give me knowledge, and not just knowledge, but give me the ability to decipher and know when to use the knowledge properly. Let me know when to actually apply certain situations and the right times. See, wisdom is all about that, just applying the knowledge you have at the right time. That's called being a skilled steward of the Most High God's understanding he gave you. See, you have to be skilled with it. You can't just have the knowledge and then use it at the wrong time. You can't be like, oh, God, thank you for the rocket launcher, and you shoot a rocket launcher at an ant. That's stupid. Doesn't make sense. Hey, Lord, thank you for giving me this fly swatter. And then you try to hit a bear with a fly swatter. All of y'all have seen Minions. Y'all understand how bad of an idea it is to hit a bear with a fly swatter. You're going to be tasty food for them, okay? So you got to know when to apply what at the right time, and that's what you call wisdom. So just having the knowledge means nothing. Having the Rolodex, the mental Rolodex of scriptures means nothing. If you don't understand what they mean, and if you don't apply them at the right time, it means nothing. Solomon said, hey, Lord, let me not only give me the knowledge, but give me the ability to use it properly in the right situations so I can go in and come out before the people. See, going in is leading the people to one place, and coming out is taking them from a place. That's what he wants to do. Lead the people, show the people a better way, show the people how he can take care of them properly, because a king is in position of that. He is in position of, he's not just a father to his household. He is actually the father to his people. He is over his race, and he is taking care of his race by giving them the right direction to go in life. See, that's why it's good. It's why you got to be a person that desires to have wisdom or good judgment, so that way the people around you are taken care of, not just taken care of physically, but taken care of mentally, taken care of with the right actual, being able to manage their emotions, manage all of these things, because there's so many things you got to manage when you're in charge of a race of people. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. And if you can't wear that crown if you do not have the wisdom or the ability to apply it in the right times, okay? So this is what he asked for. Listen to what the Lord said. Let's jump down. 2 Chronicles chapter 1, verse 11. And God said unto Solomon, because this was in thine heart, and thou hast not asked riches, wealth, or honor, nor the life of thine enemies, neither yet hast asked long life, but hast asked wisdom and knowledge for thyself, that thou mayest judge my people, over whom I made thee king. So he said, since you asked for something to be able to give to the people that I put you in charge of, verse 12, wisdom and knowledge is granted unto thee, and I will give thee riches and wealth and honor, such as none the kings have had that have been before thee, neither shall there after thee have the like. So nobody will be able to compare to you in wisdom, because you asked for something that was great and that was honorable. It was a selfless thing. He said, I'm going to give it to you. And on top of it, I'm going to give you all the things you didn't ask for. I'm going to give you long life. I'm going to give you riches. I'm going to give you peace in your land. See, the Most High God is a beautiful God. He loves a person with a pure heart, a person with a mind that actually is stuck on him and directed. It wants to go in a direction that he would have them go. That's how the Most High God of Israel is. All praise to the Father for someone like that ruling over us. Yeah. Let's go. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, 13. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 1. Surely vain are all men by nature, who of the good things that are seen know him that is. Neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the workmaster. So the first thing the Lord has given the understanding to Solomon. He said, Solomon put out there, he said, surely vain are all men. Meaning, he's saying useless, foolish, you know what I'm saying? By nature, that's how we are. Surely vain are men by nature, because we are people that we are self-destructive. You know what I'm saying? We're self-destructive because we're going to do what is best in the best interest of our own selves. When you have a collective of people, and you have each person doing what they want to do for themselves, they are going to destroy themselves, because they are meant to be there for each other, to help each other. You cannot have a pride of lions and one lion, every lion doing what they want to do by themselves. It doesn't work that way. They have to work together. Their pride of lions, their survival depends on it. If you don't work together, then you're going to be suffering. As a matter of fact, if you understand, well, I ain't even going to lions right now. But anyways, You have to work together. Same thing. You have wolves. You have a pack of wolves. They all work together. They take care of each other. So the lone wolf analogy people always use. Wolves don't run alone. Wolves are a pack. They're pack animals, just like dogs are. Most dogs, they run in packs. They run together. They take care of each other. They look out for each other. They back each other up. But men by nature don't want to. Men by nature are going to look out for numero uno. They're going to try to take care of themselves. And when you just try to take care of yourself, what you most of the time will do is you'll destroy yourself, because you're going to neglect many parts that you will need to actually develop as a person, that will actually help you overcome certain things, or to help you just, do things. Say if you fall short in certain areas, the people around you will actually help you and pick you up. But if you don't recognize that you need those around you, then understand you will suffer. All right, let's read on. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 13, verse 1, read again. Surely vain are all men by nature, who are ignorant of God, and could not out of the good things that are seen know him. That is. So he's saying we would not know who God is just by seeing, we can see, like, just look behind me. Look at the scenery. You see mountains, you see desert, like little sand dunes, which looks nice. You can also see valleys. You're going to see volcanic pits, so you see all kinds of things. You see the snow. You're going to see beaches. All of these things that are in nature that are beautiful. But he's like, hey, men are vain by nature, but those things aren't going to reveal to us who God is. We're not going to see who he is. We'll see those great things, and we'll sometimes forget about anybody that put it together. That's why he says, neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the workmaster. By nature, we don't even think like, oh, who actually made this? Thank you for who made this. I'm so glad there's a God that exists that actually put this together for me. See, people don't do that. You know what he's also trying to say? He's saying men are vain by nature. Men are ungrateful by nature. Men are not, they're not thankful. They're not appreciative of what's put in front of them. All right, let's read on verse 2. But deem that either fire or wind or the swift air or the circle of the stars or the violent water or the lights of heaven to be the gods which govern the world. So it's like, oh, yeah, look at this that we see. Oh, this is so great. That must be God right there. When I'm thinking about who created it, we're just like, oh, yeah, that's got to be God. Look at that sun shining. The sun is keeping us alive. It's keeping me warm. It's causing the flowers to bloom. The sun is doing all these great things. Nothing exists without the sun. That's how most people are. Matter of fact, if you look at most civilizations, they are sun worshipers. Matter of fact, Christianity, sun worship is all it is. Sun worship. The Sunday. I mean, I can just go on and on. You think about Christ, and you get the little glowing, you get the pictures of Jesus, and you see the glowing thing over his head. It's sun worship. Christmas itself, sun worship. It is the birth of the sun, because it is when the winter solstice, that's all it is. Winter solstice is when the sun starts to be out more and more. So they call it the birth of the sun, aka Baal's birthday. Baal is the guy that we understand is who we call Prince of the Devils. It's so many things that go into sun worship. Most of the gods that we call that people call on sun god, because people are foolish by nature. And when you find Israelites dive into that, is because we are that foolish nature people that do just what the rest of we do. Because your nature is what your animalistic side, your instincts will tell you to do. Your instincts will tell you to worship something that you think is actually taking care of you. Think of a dog. A dog has an owner. To that dog, their owner is God. That owner is the one that feeds them, that gives them shelter, that gives them water, that takes them to the vet if they're sick. That's what the owner is. Well, people will look at the sun, moon, and stars, and they'll start to assume that these things take care of them. Or the wind that blows, the wind helps them out. They got all these fake gods. All right, let's read on verse 3. With those beauty, if they being delighted took them to be gods, let them know how much better the Lord of them is. For the first author of beauty have created them. So he's saying, hey, the author of beauty is the Most High. So you're like, you start talking about how great that, like, think about somebody seeing a masterpiece, a canvas, and somebody, makes this great painting. They're like, oh, look at that painting. The painting is so beautiful. How much better is the artist? That's what we got to start to consider. How much better is the artist? Well, the Lord is the artist of everything. The Most High God of Israel created his son and has had his son make all of these things we have right here by his instruction. He is the first author of beauty. How much better is he than us to be like to reference something, have this, just admire something that was created by something else. We don't admire the thing. We're supposed to admire the creator. That's what we're supposed to do. That makes more sense. For all my mothers out there, you admire your child. No, you admire the creator of your child. The creator is is the father of that child. That's what you're supposed to do. That is what makes sense, because that is how things are to be done. You got to understand what is and what shall be. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 4. But if they were astonished at their power and virtue, let them understand by them how much mightier is he that made them. So again, if we love the beach and we love to just see how the sunset looks on the beach, or we just like to see how the waves rush in and out, we're just like, man, that's amazing how that happens. Look at science. No, look at God. That's what you got to say. How much mightier is the one that created this? Verse 5, for by the greatness and the beauty of the creatures, proportionably, the maker of them is seen. Creatures aren't just animals. Creature is just, it's a word, it's short for creation. The creature is a creation. That's all he's saying. How much better, again, is the creator? That's all he's letting you know. Same thing. If you see the greatness and the beauty of the stars in the sky, then you got to be like, man, imagine how great this God is that made him, that original author of beauty. You know what I'm saying? For it says, remember, for by the greatness and the beauty of the creatures, proportionately, the maker of them is seen. You see the maker in it. And really, people always talk about, if you look at a lot of the animals, or you look at how things are created, a lot of them have similar patterns because God is in them. Now, I'm not saying, I don't want to get too deep and be like, look for actually a picture of God within a tree stump, or look at, you look at a bunch of, you're like, oh wow, man, look at that hill. That must be how God's shoulders look. No, I'm not saying that, but understand that the creator, the author of beauty, the one who is the originator of things, everything is found in him because it's found in his mind. He's the architect. That's all he's telling you. Verse 6, but yet for this, they are the less to be blamed, for they peradventure err, seeking God and desirous to find him. So we want to look for God. We want to look for this higher power, something mighty. You know what I'm saying? It says they are less to be blamed. You know what I'm saying? Because it says we err, meaning we go astray. We're wrong. We find ourselves not going in the right direction. Why? Because we want to find him, right? Verse 7, for being conversant in his works, they search him diligently and believe their sight, because the things are beautiful that are seen. That's what happens. They're like, oh, let me find God. Oh, I see God. See, the scriptures tell you this. There's a reason why this is in the Bible. 2 Chronicles chapter 1, verse 7. I said 2 Corinthians. I'm sorry, I said Chronicles. 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 7. All right. Oh, no. I'm sorry. 2 Corinthians. Oh, I done lost my spot. That's making me mad. Nope. All right, hold on. Sorry, y'all. Israel, bear with me. And I did not just lose my. All right. Hold on. You know what I'm about to do? All right, we got to go to Google. All right, y'all patient. Hey, put a 1 in the chat if you can be patient. If you can't, put a 3 in the chat. And then everybody else that puts a 1 in the chat, pray for the person that puts a 3 in the chat. All right. Pray for that person. All right, there we go. Okay, 2 Corinthians 5 and 7. I'm sorry, y'all. I said 1 and 7. 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 7. All right, for we walk by faith, not by sight. So what that's telling you is when you search for God, you need to search for him by your faith in the character of the man, not faith in anything else, but faith in the character of the man. That man is the Most High God. Again, we're walking by faith, not by sight. So the character of that man, or the greatness within that man, is what we should be believing in. So the greatness within that man is what brought the greatness and the beauty of what we see. Again, the mountains are beautiful. You see them, you'll be like, wow. You'll be amazed at them. You know what I'm saying? If you see plateaus, oh, look, those are great. I like those. And then you just think of all the wonders that the Lord has created. So you can see the rushing rivers, you know what I'm saying? You see the lakes, you see the streams, you see the things that look amazing to you. And you're like, man, I wish I could have done this. Think about how much greater the Creator is who made it, because you can talk about how great it is, but he's talking about, you're saying, hey, I believe in what I'm seeing. Let me read that again. For being conversant in his works, they search him diligently and believe their sight, because the things are beautiful that are seen. So basically he's saying we err or we go astray, we go the wrong direction, basing our understanding off of what we see, what can be proven, well, what we think can be proven, saying that we lack faith. That's really what the Lord's telling us. We lack faith. We don't actually trust in the words he's telling us. We trust in what we can actually see, and and a lot of times what we see, what we think we see is not what we see. Verse 8, howbeit, neither are they to be pardoned. So he said, hey, he's not going, when he says you're not going to be pardoned, meaning you're not going to be acquitted. You know, you're going to go down. You're going to be in trouble. Verse 9, for if they were able to know how to know so much that they could aim at the world, how did they not sooner find out the Lord thereof? So basically, all right, we able to see all these things. We able to, look upon what we're amazed by in this world, what we think is great, what we think is beautiful, the stars in the sky, again, how amazing, the star dust, or the comets, anything you can think of, any of the heavenly bodies that it just, to you, is off the charts great, right? Any of these things, he said, hey, if we was able to know so much of that, how did we not sooner find out the Lord? Why didn't we start seeking for the one that actually made what we love, what we think is great? You know what I'm saying? You love something, then you need to see where it came from. You know what I'm saying? Just like a certain part, you might have a man you're in love with, you might have a woman you're in love with. See where they came from. Where is the origin of this particular thing? I need to find out where it was, because there has to be. If this thing is so great, I want to actually, get around it and see if I can find more of this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying as a woman you look for more husbands, or as a man you're trying to get more wives. I'm saying you're trying to get more people that are good around you. You want to surround yourself with that because you think that person you with is so great. It's so amazing. You want to find the origin of them, or at least find out, even if the people around them are horrible, at least get an understanding of what could have turned this person into something so great. What was that pressure cooker that created that diamond? What's the formula? We should be seeking it out. Verse 10, but miserable are they, and in dead things is their hope, who call them gods, which are the works of men's hands, gold and silver to show art in, and resemblances of beasts, or a stone good for nothing, the work of an ancient hand. So now he's telling you, he says miserable they, meaning, just when you're miserable, then you kind of like, you don't really, you don't have this inner peace, that joy. And I speak about this often. You can have happiness, but you don't really have joy. So that's why it says miserable are they. Why are you miserable? Because you need a material thing that was created by someone else to bring you some type of happiness, some type of joy. For all my little kids, or even, older kids that love video games, don't look for the video games just for your joy. That was created by man's hands. If that's what you're looking for joy, you're never going to find it. If you're looking for jewelry to make you happy, like, oh, I got to have some jewelry, and that's going to make me smile. No, that's not what you're seeking for. You need to seek something else. You got to find something within. You got to value the character of a man or a woman. That's what you got to look to. That, if you don't look to that, miserable are you, because you're calling something a God that was made by somebody else. You're something that just was some finite, something can be destroyed. You're like, ooh, yeah, look at this. Something that looks like an elephant. I love it. It was created by a man. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Made out of a stone. And then it's, like I said, it's good for nothing. Verse 11, now a carpenter that felleth timber after he has sawn down a tree, meet for the purpose, and taken off all the bark skillfully round about, and hath wrought it handsomely, and made a vessel thereof fit for the service of man's life. And after spending the refuse of his work to dress his meat, he filleth himself. So now he's talking about he did all this stuff. He did all this hard work to create something. What did he create? He started making an idol. He got that wood. It said he cut off the tree bark. He got out there, he cut down the tree or sawn it down, and he was doing all of these things. And he says he brought it forth with his hands. He says he made it handsomely. And we know something handsome is good looking. They say, oh, he's handsome. Yeah, he's good looking. You know what I'm saying? That's what is happening with this. He handsomely fixed that piece of wood that he cut down and cut the bark off and did all this work, right? Verse 13. Verse 13, I'm sorry. And taking the very refuse of the piece of wood, which served to no use, being a crooked piece of wood and full of knots, hath carved it diligently when he had nothing else to do, and formed it by the skill of his understanding, and fashioned it to the image of man, or made it like some vile beast, laying it over with vermilion and with paint coloring it red, and covering every spot therein. And when he had made a convenient room for it, set it in a wall, and made it fast with iron. And he says he made it fast with iron, like fastened it, like you made it stick. All right, you got iron to hold it down. So you got it, put it up in the window where everybody can see it. Like, look what I done. Everybody now is happy and they are worshiping it. They're believing it. Something that a man had created. All right, not even a God, a man made. And then you're looking at it and you bowing down to it and worshiping it like it's something, something that special. Verse 16. For he provided it that it might not fall, knowing that it was unable to help itself, for it was an image and have need of help. So he put that iron down to hold it still, because he knows that if he does not fasten it himself, he does not root it into something on his own, it's going to fall over. Why? Because it can't take care of itself. It's an image. It's not real. It's made by a person. It doesn't have a heartbeat, no breath, nothing. It's not a living God. All right. Verse 16. Verse 17, I'm sorry. Then maketh he prayer for his goods, for his wife and children, and is not ashamed to speak to that which have no life. And after this same man creates something, he puts all his work in, creates something out of his imagination. He turns around, gets his family, and gets them to start believing in something and calling it a God that is not even real. Can you see the process of the sheer stupidity behind this? Something that made no sense. This dude went out here, this thing would not exist if he wouldn't have put all this work into it. He literally went out there, cut down a tree like a lumberjack, took it in, started carving it like he's at wood shop. Then he's in arts and crafts, making it all pretty, putting paint on it, and all this stuff. He's doing all of these things to fix something. And then he says, hey, after he seals it and until he puts it up in the window or something and seals it with iron so it can't fall over, because he knows it will fall over if just a little gust of wind comes through. Then he seals it with to where it is, where it can't fall. And then he turns around and says, hey, this is a God. Let's worship it. Like, the sheer foolishness in it is just crazy. And that's why the Lord's like, man, we err because we love what we see instead of what actually is. Verse 18, for health he hath called upon that which is weak, for life, prayer to that which is dead. He's asking for a long life for something that's not even alive. It can't even heal him. It can't walk out and pluck some flowers and create some medicine with some herbs and be like, here you go. That thing can't do any of that. It's going to be sitting there. And you asking for something that you just created with your hands to save you, to rescue you, to give you good health and wellness. Let's read on. For aid, humbly beseecheth that which beseecheth that which hath least means to help, meaning it can't do anything. It don't have no way to do anything for you. And for a good journey, he asketh for that which cannot set foot forward. So he also asked something that's never traveled, never will travel. He's like, hey, help me as I go to and fro throughout the earth. When I travel 300 miles away to the nearest country, can you watch over me? Can you know what I'm saying? Can you give me some good advice? That's like, think about that. He's asking for advice for something that has never seen anything else besides the ground that it was rooted in before he cut it down. You know what I'm saying? It shows how we are just that rebellious, and we gotta believe in something that we've conjured up in our mind. We go to build a God workshop and just create something that's not there just so we can believe in whatever feels good to us. That is rather Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 19. And for gaining and getting, and for good success of his hands, asketh ability to do of him, that is most unable to do anything. Again, something that can't move, that can't put his hand to do nothing, can't set foot to walk, can't lift his hand to work for you, but you asking help for it, for something that's completely lifeless. This is why he says in the very beginning, surely are men all vain by nature. That's why he said that by nature we're foolish. Why? Because at the end of the day, we really choose to believe something that doesn't exist, because we actually are our own gods. We set up idols in our hearts, in our minds. We make up our own gods because we really don't want to follow a system that's already laid out. We want to create our own system. But then creating your own system, guess what you do? Go out here and make up something that you know ain't true, and you believe in it. This man that created this God literally believes in a lie. He knows what he believes in is a lie, and he does it anyway. And not only does he do it, he leads his family to believe in it as well. That's the danger that most of us face. That's the danger that most women and children face. They have a man they're following that knows what they're doing is dead wrong. It's going to take them straight to hell, but they don't care because they have made their mind up that they want to serve a God that does not exist. Let's not serve a God that doesn't exist. Let's make sure we choose to believe in what is instead of what isn't. Let's believe in the one and only true God. So this is Wisdom of Solomon 13. I pray y'all gain some understanding from it. Oh, hold on, wait, I got a question. Law had a question. All right, I'm sorry. All right, Law said, what does it mean by set a foot forward? Like, does that mean head in the right direction? Well, it doesn't mean head in the right, it just means head in the direction. Just picture yourself standing still, and then one foot is in front of you. And then after you put that one foot in front of you, then you put the other foot in front of you and the other foot. And then you put your right foot again in front of everything, and then you put your left foot in front of everything. What are you doing at this point? Go ahead and answer that question. Cue Jeopardy music. You know what I'm saying? Cue Jeopardy music. What are you doing at this point? You got one foot. Your left foot is in front of you. It's forward. Then you put your the right foot forward in front of everything else. Then you put your left foot forward in front of everything else. You tell me what that means. And yeah, make sure you hear it. Hopefully you answer the question. You got like, let me see what we got, like 20 seconds. It don't take that long to type it. And if you don't know, say, I don't know. But let's hurry up and get it. All right, but that's what it is. So again, I want to make sure I reiterate this while I'm waiting on her answer. Matter of fact, let's go to it. Let's go to this real quick. Let's go to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Here's what happens. This right here, this chapter just read in Wisdom of Solomon 13, it was truly illustrating what really goes into a person not believing in the Bible. That's really what it was doing. Let's go to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 11. Yeah, Law, if you still here, hurry up, answer the question. All right. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 11. And if any of y'all see Law, make sure she answer the question. Get her on her and answer the question. And 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, matter of fact, I'm going to start at verse 10. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 10. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. So he says, so these people, matter of fact, let's go to verse 9. I'm going to get verse 9. You didn't hear the question. It was your question. What you mean? This question right here. Here's your question. Did you hear if you didn't hear my response, then I ain't answering no more of your questions. You can come here and ask a question, then didn't hear my response. But anyway, let me finish this because it's still important. This is what the man was doing when he created this God. He made up a God that does not exist. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 9. Let's go to, let's go 9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. So he said, this one that came after Satan, or came after the devil, who followed the wicked one, the evil one. He says, this one is who the people that follow this one are the children of the devil, right? Verse 10. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. So a lot of people will choose to follow Satan. They're going to choose to follow their imagination. They're going to choose to follow something that is wicked, that is evil, that is of the devil, because they don't love God, right? That's the decision, that's the direction they're going to want to go in, right? Verse 10, right? Verse 11. And for this cause, God shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie. So that's what he says is going to happen. So after they decide to make that happen, after they decide, they're going to reject the truth. He says, with all the deceivableness of unrighteousness, they receive not the love of the truth. When you don't receive something, you don't take it. So they didn't take something that was carrying compassionate, that compassionate love, carrying love of the truth. They didn't receive love. They received hatred. They like to hear wickedness. They like to hear evil. They like to hear, the malice, all of that stuff where people are going against each other. That's what they love. They didn't want the truth. They didn't want something that was going to be good for them. So they didn't receive the love of the truth. So since they didn't receive that, or they didn't take that in, God said, I'm going to send you strong delusion so you can believe a lie. Okay, you don't want to believe the truth? Well, I'm going to help you believe a lie. That's how the Most High God is. All right, you don't want the truth? Believe a lie then. You don't want to believe in the creator, the author of beauty, the one that created that tree that you cut down and carved into a fake God and had you and your whole family worship. You didn't want to believe in the creator of that. You wanted to believe in the creator of that false idol. So since you want to do that, you know what? I'm gonna make you believe that that tree is real. I'm gonna let you believe that that false idol that you carved actually can do something. I'm gonna cause you to believe it. I'm gonna make different things happen for you to actually think, oh, the mighty God of wood just now told me to do X, Y, and Z. He's gonna make you believe it. Why? Because you rejected the truth and you accepted lies. That's what that is. All right. So that's where that goes. Let me see. Law said it was loud and couldn't hear a response. All I'll say is go back and listen to the answer of the question. In I answered the question, so just go back, rewatch the video to the point that it was there, and the answer will be there. That's how we'll do that. All right. Hey, by the way, hey, peace be with you. I see somebody just joined in TikTok. Hey, shalom. Make sure you subscribe to the TikTok you on, and make sure you click the link and subscribe to the YouTube as well. All right. But anyways, yeah, let's make sure we do that. So everybody that's here, hey, Lord's will, you're edified. This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 13. I love y'all. Grace and peace be unto the 12 tribes. Shalom.